Science is what you know. Philosophy is what you don't know. The good life is one inspired by love and guided by knowledge. The whole problem with the world is that fools and fanatics are always so certain of themselves, and wiser people so full of doubts. The time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. I would never die for my beliefs, because I might be wrong. Life is nothing but a competition to be the criminal rather than the victim. Three passions, simple but overwhelmingly strong, have governed my life: the longing for love, the search for knowledge, and unbearable pity for the suffering of mankind. A happy life must be to a great extent a quiet life, for it is only in an atmosphere of quiet that true joy dare live. Those who have never known the deep intimacy and the intense companionship of mutual love have missed the best thing that life has to give. One of the symptoms of an approaching nervous breakdown is the belief that one's work is terribly important. The secret to happiness is to face the fact that the world is horrible. To be without some of the things you want is an indispensable part of happiness. Extreme hopes are born from extreme misery. Fear is the main source of superstition and one of the main sources of cruelty. To conquer fear is the beginning of wisdom. The megalomaniac differs from the narcissist by the fact that he wishes to be powerful rather than charming, and seeks to be feared rather than loved. To this type belong many lunatics, and most of the great men of history. The fundamental concept in social science is power, in the same sense in which energy is the fundamental concept in physics. To teach how to live without certainty, and yet without being paralyzed by hesitation, is perhaps the chief thing that philosophy, in our age, can do for those who study it. Patriotism is the willingness to kill and be killed for trivial reasons. Democracy is the process by which people choose the man who will get the blame. Drunkenness is temporary suicide. Collective fear stimulates herd instinct and tends to produce ferocity toward those who are not regarded as members of the herd. Anything you're good at contributes to happiness. Of all forms of caution, caution in love is perhaps the most fatal to true happiness. I've made an odd discovery. Every time I talk to a savant, I feel quite sure that happiness is no longer a possibility. Yet when I talk with my gardener, I'm convinced of the opposite. Patriots always talk of dying for their country and never of killing for their country. I think we ought always to entertain our opinions with some measure of doubt. I shouldn't wish people dogmatically to believe any philosophy, not even mine. In all affairs, it's a healthy thing, now and then to hang a question mark on the things you have long taken for granted. The secret of happiness is this: let your interests be as wide as possible. Let your reactions to the things and persons that interest you be as far as possible friendly, rather than hostile. Do not fear to be eccentric in opinion, for every opinion now accepted was once eccentric. Work is of two kinds. First, altering the position of matter at or near the Earth's surface relative to other matter. Second, telling other people to do so. One should respect public opinion insofar as is necessary to avoid starvation and keep out of prison. But anything that goes beyond this is voluntary submission to unnecessary tyranny. It's preoccupation with possessions, more than anything else, that prevents us from living freely and nobly. Man needs for his happiness not only the enjoyment of this or that, but hope and enterprise and change. Ethics is in origin the art of recommending to others the sacrifices required for cooperation with oneself. A life without adventure is likely to be unsatisfying, but a life in which adventure is allowed to take whatever form it will is sure to be short. If there were in the world today any large number of people who desired their own happiness more than they desired the unhappiness of others, we could have a paradise in a few years. Free of opinion can only exist when the government thinks itself secure. A process which led from the amoeba to man appeared to the philosophers to be obviously a progress, though whether the amoeba would agree with this opinion is not known. The point of philosophy is to start with something so simple as not to seem worth stating, and to end with something so paradoxical that no one will believe it. Thought is subversive and revolutionary, destructive and terrible. Thought is merciless to privilege, established institutions, and comfortable habit. Thought is great and swift and free. When the intensity of emotional conviction subsides, a man who is in the habit of reasoning will search for logical grounds in favor of the belief which he finds in himself. Man is a credulous animal, and must believe something. In the absence of good grounds for belief, he will be satisfied with bad ones. Neither a man nor a crowd, nor a nation can be trusted to act humanely, or to think sanely under the influence of a great fear. Boredom is a vital problem for the moralist, since half the sins of mankind are caused by the fear of it. I believe in using words, not fists. I believe in my outrage knowing people are living in boxes on the street. I believe in honesty. I believe in a good time. I believe in good food. I believe in making love.